It's a very serious thing when a gamekeeper now has turned poacher. And I do think it needs to be looked into. Any public servant at that level shouldn't be allowed to go over to the private sector, bring in all the information that he have and all the ways he can block things. And I think that lady needn't worry. Until a couple of bankers go to jail for ruining us and robbing us, I don't think she needs to worry about any of the rest of the There's an Achilles heel in the banks. There's a big Achilles heel. Achilles is a Greek guy with, foot. He was a giant, but he had a problem with his foot, like myself. Anyway, what I want to say to you is that the banks are running Nama hotels all over Ireland. Block them. Because they're running them on tax breaks. And if they close them within the set number of time, they will have to pay all this tax back to the state. That's one Achilles heel. And I think we targeted businesses that the banks have taken over by boycotting them. And then, if people are prepared to put a bit of steel in their back and go on with it and prepared to take it. It is a risk, as Nick said, but everything worth gaining is worth a risk. And block those businesses who are being given allowed. There's good businesses in this county going to the wall for the want of finance and going to the wall for the wants a little bit of understanding from the banks. And it's about time we start to get off our knees and stand up like the French, the British and the Italians.
The Honourable from Dubara. Congratulations, Annette, for tonight. I am just wondering if I'm actually a victim of the country at the minute, but I'm just wondering if they can take the money for the household tax out of our wages and for people on social welfare. Are we eventually going to have to pay this and it's going to come our way? I kind of agree with that woman up there because £100 to me, I'm still in pounds, sorry, £100 to me is less than 2,500, and if someone asked me for 2,500, this minute I couldn't give it to him. I might be able to give him 100, but no, couldn't do 2,500.
Okay, I understand your concerns. First of all, with regard to the law, that's impossible at the moment unless they change the law, and I think it's one of the most unpopular laws ever brought into this country, where they can actually, if they set an arrangement where they can take this money from your wages or welfare. I would be surprised if they actually brought it in. I admit, is there going to have to be, I mean, it does require a bit of courage in any country to stand up if you think you've been treated unfairly. And, there's the one thing about it, you say, well, okay, I can afford €100, right? Well, I also hope you can afford 1,000 or 1,400 as well, because that's coming down the tracks if you agree to the 100. That's the problem. Well, it will need. It's going to need the involvement of a lot of people to make this unworkable. I mean, if only 100 people in the country refuse to pay, I can assure you all 100 will be getting their fines, and all 100 will be caught. If 200,000 refuse to pay, it's a whole different issue.
Just to add to that, what Mick has said there, like we've outlined how long the process would take to get you to court to fine you, but to actually take it out of your wages, there, as Mick says, there would have to be a legislation change. There would then also have to be another court case after the court case that fined you. There would then have to be an attachment order issued from the court. But the executive of the CPSU, the Civil and Public Service Union, even though it has not been publicised in the media, because obviously the leaders of that union don't want it to be publicised, the executive of that union, who handles, say, the post office and social welfare workers and stuff like that, have come out very strongly against this charge and are going to instruct their workers not to handle any court proceedings or anything like that That may change, of course. We know how the union leaders are able to wash over little deals, but it's encouraging when you find trade unions starting to back a campaign like this. I know somebody, yourself here, mentioned the weakness of the leadership of trade unions. That is something that we have to take on in this campaign, but we are hoping that because of the massive number of people who are coming to the meetings, that SIP2 in particular will have not a change of heart, but actually issue a statement on where they stand on it, because as you know, they're help fund the Labour Party. But we would be very hopeful that the unions will come out on the side of the campaign. Unite the Union have already come out and backed us, but we need people here, if there's anybody here in a trade union, to go back to your branch, to put a motion to the branch to get support for the idea of non-payment. Yes, there's a risk that you could be fined, but as a couple of people have said now, Dermot over here made the point, if we stick together, if there's 1 million people, 1 million householders willing to stand together and refuse to pay this, then we will defeat this tax. Back in the 90s, when the water charges campaign was going on up in Dublin, they jailed 34 people, 12 or 14 of them were women. But those people, they decided to take a stand. That's exactly what we have to do now. Somebody there said we need to be like our more militant European counterparts and actually say no. We're not, as Mick say, asking people to turn cars over in the street. We're asking people to, well, Mick is encouraged, and I'm asking people not to register and not to pay this tax. Because if by doing that we can bring the government to a stand, we can bring them to change their mind on it, then we'll see what else we can bring about in this society. But at the minute, the priority is get this money in to pay off Anglo-Irish bondholders. So we can also double this up and make this the referendum on the IMF bailout, because we didn't get our opportunity like they did in Iceland to do that. So maybe this can be a type of referendum on the IMF bailout as well.
Hello. Clara Carty, Enniscorthy.
Just Clara, sorry, 1 second. There's a lot of people still wanting questions, so if everybody bears with us, we will get around to everybody, okay? Thank you.
Sorry lads, I don't usually do stuff like this, but I'm here to remind you, this is after turning into a totalitarian government. The old people went up and marched for Medicaid cards. I think the biggest thing that's after going on in here is people, they're trying to use shock tactic classes. They're using scaremongering. This is supposed to be a proud Irish nation. You can't be afraid of them. You have to get up there and march like the old people did when they wanted to take back the medical card. Now our forefathers will be turning in their bloody graves. We're not even 100 years of a sovereignty yet. We said no to the bloody Peace Treaty, and what did they do? Vote again. And what did the Irish people do? Sure, we'd say yeah, sure, they said no the first time. Lads, we have to grow a bit of fucking backbone. There's no point in sitting around and talking about it. We have to get up there and march, and never mind going all this, that. Hell, lads, I'm self-employed. I'm barely able to scrape a few quid together for 25. That doesn't fucking bother me. I don't care what the fucking say. No point in talking about it, lads, and excuse the word B****, effing out of it. You have to get up there and fucking march and show them. We're Irish. We're known to be the fucking nation of the country. We all talk about it, but nobody gets out and does anything. I'd chain myself to Trinity if I fucking have to make a point. But we need people to come up with us, lads. And I'm willing to do it. I'm telling you. We're not going to be a public fucking country anymore. I'm telling you all to stand instead of talking about it. Get up there and do it and show them exactly what we're made of. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Thank you.
Assumpta Jordan Davis, I just want to say thanks a million for setting up this meeting, because I've been very frustrated for a long time saying, what the hell can I do? I'm fed up paying for fellas who took a gamble, and we're the bloody Egypts paying them. Paying back from all social welfare, from our wages every week. We're the hard working people of Ireland. We're the the ones that have Ireland where it is, but it's the government, the ones who are meant to be looking after us, protecting us. They are walking on us. They are pushing us to the floor. They're trying to grind us and get every last cent they can out of us until we are, I don't know, that we can't pay for nothing for ourselves. We need, as that lady said, to get up, move ourselves, get to Dublin and say enough is enough, government. Yous are overpaid, have too much expenses, yous are taking the money from us, day in and day out, and yous have the big money. Why don't yous just get out and give someone the job who will look after us, who will take care of the people of Ireland and who care about Ireland? Not even the people, but the country itself. Do those politicians care about Ireland at all? No. So we the people need to fucking show them. We need to go up there and say to them, get out. You are not doing your job. Get out. Sorry, just one last thing. Anyone here who is employed, if you are not doing your job, if you are not doing what you're supposed to do, what would happen to you? You would not get an increase. And you definitely would not get a pension for doing 4 years of work. So I think the people of Ireland need a new government, and sooner the better. And I am glad you have started these water charges and these household charges, because something needed to give in this country. And it looked like the people of Ireland were going to give out to one another and complain about it. And we'd, sit over a cup of coffee and say, Jesus, what are they going to take from us next? And, what do they want from us next? But now, we need to move. When this is going on, let's stick together and let's do something and show them that the Irish people mean business.
Lady here was saying about if the committee here are going to pay the fines. We need to stand strong. They're going to pick on one or two of us out. If we're unlucky out of this crowd, they're going to get one or two. They're going to drag you to court. They're going to give you a big fine. We need to be strong. We can't let them scare us. We cannot let them scare us with court, with all the crap that they want to hand us. We're going to be strong. We're not paying it. I'm definitely not paying it. And I don't care what they want to say or do to me. And I hope you're all with me. Be strong.